Thoughts about where your unit is 12 practices in the spring and today? What you thought?
I think we're exactly where we need to be. I think that we've done a lot of good stuff this spring, and as y'all seen today, that we have some real talent on our defense and guys that are willing to sacrifice for each other. And we actually just got done watching the tape of the scrimmage with the linebackers, and so just continuing to pour for this team and continue to do everything we can so that we can have as much success as possible.
No tackling, but you came pretty hard at AJ Green, man. So, what did you think of the overall physicality of this work today?
So, y'all got to look today at what a normal practice is for us. The physicality-wise, Coach Pittman, breathes it into us like, hey, we're going to be physical, and a thud tempo. Yeah, it's thud, but it's still come and hit somebody. So, just try to go in there and get a lick, get as close to a game time contact as you can get whenever you have the opportunity.
How well has Drew Sanders molded into what y'all are doing? And we saw him chase Hornsby over on the edge, which we all raised our eyes about that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Drew, he covers ground very quickly. We were just watching it in there with him, and he's, talking. He's like, he just kind of floats throughout the field. He's got a long stride. He takes good angles, and it's just exciting to watch his growth from practice one to where we are now.
I want to ask you about another linebacker, Pooh. He came in the other day for the first time. You feel like he could be probably a team spokesman one day, but he did really well in here. But I was just curious on your thoughts on him and, being, maybe developing into a young leader, and then also, just the play that he's, performing on the field.
Yeah, Chris has done great for us this spring, and, he had a little setback with his concussion, but now he's back, and he's been, doing great things for us. He's very explosive, and whenever he sees pulling guards, he'll come in there and smack them. And you just kind of have to have that, switch in your head to whenever you see something like that, you got to be able to go be physical, and Chris does a good job with that. Like you said, he's a good kid, and he learns. He wants to be good, so his success here is up to him how much he wants to work.
What's your thoughts on Crook? Also, looks like a guy that's got a future too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jordan, he's also a Texas kid, and him and I, we're always talking. I'm always trying to just give him little bit tips that I've used throughout the years to help me in my game, and he learns very fast. He's physical. He's got a good moxie to him. I really like him, and he's going to have a lot of success here.
Thumper, those were kind of my question, but I think we talked to you after the first practice, or really early. Just how is the linebacker group coming along as a whole? And like I said, you answered part of that, but just Woodard, Henley, Crook, Sanders, and all of them, just everybody coming along, Paul.
So this year our linebacker room completely changed, but there's a lot of talent in our room, and it changed. We have a lot of young guys that are wanting to get better, and as you've seen today, there's talent, there's speed, there's physicality in all those guys, and so if we can continue just to make sure that everyone's locked in on their assignment every play, the sky's the limit.
How much have you played a role in that, being the leader? Last year you, Grant, Hayden were right there, but now it's pretty much you. How much of leadership, because Chris told me the other day he comes to you and talks to you about stuff, or Pooh, but just talk about your leadership role. Has it stepped up since those other two are gone?
Yes, sir. I've played here for quite a bit, and I've had a lot of guys, teach me things. Dre, Scuda, those guys poured their knowledge into me, and so it's only right that I came back and given as much knowledge as I can to these young guys, and hope that they have more success than I could do whenever I'm done playing.
I know he got dinged up today, but Torian Carter seemed to have a really strong spring. What have you seen from him as developing throughout this spring?
He changed his body. He already was strong, but he got even stronger. Has a little more twitch to him. You hate to see guys get hurt, but hopefully he's going to be all right. But his progress has been great, and I just feel like a lot of our guys, the progress this spring, and that's credit to our coaches. The way that we practice is physical. It's hard, but it gets young raw talent where they need to be as quickly as possible.
Robert, the guys before you talked a little bit about Drew's swim move, and has he taught it to you? And what do you think about that?
No, I think it works for Drew, because he's tall, he's long, he can get that. But it just kind of depends on whatever fits your game the most. I know that if you live and die by a swim move, it'll humble you at times when there's big offensive linemen. But he's 6'4", and he's a great football player. So the things he's doing, I try to take into my game. I've tried to work on my pass rush, and I'm just trying to learn from him, learn from all the stuff that he's gained, all the knowledge he's gained from Alabama and elsewhere.
Tom mentioned your hit on AJ a minute ago, but I'm curious, just looking at the other side of the ball, what do you think of some of those backs that that you all have now, and Rocket and AJ, all those guys are getting a little bit older?
That we have a very talented running back room, and so any chance that you have an opportunity to hit those guys, it's great because they're very talented and they take good cuts. So if you can see this in practice, you're going to see it in the game. So as much work as they're putting on us, it makes us better and helps our angles, helps our attack points. So it's been great.
I mean, you've been a part of young teams here before, but you guys are really veteran, especially, you add in the transfer guys that you guys have added in. I mean, what's it like out there with so many veteran players and, both sides of the ball?
I think it makes everyone a little bit more calm. I think before the play, you look around, you see guys that have actually been in the fire. It just kind of makes everyone settle into their responsibilities. And I think that whenever that happens, we have guys playing a lot faster because you know exactly where your help is, where your lever point is, and it's been so much fun. And I'm glad that we had a good showing for y'all today.
There was a play today on which Woodard almost made a play. It looked like he killed him not to make it. Can you talk about him as a player and his development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Jackson is extremely hardworking, and he will do anything he can to make sure he's bettering his game. Watching his growth has been great. Like I said, all of our young guys throughout the spring continue to get better, learn, and if we can continue that, we'll have a successful linebacker room for years to come.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs, sports info, and odds. Find all the latest sports developments, including this week's odds for the Masters Championship and the start of Major League Baseball season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so join today. Learn why everyone is saying BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on popular sports and games. BetOnline, where the game starts.